come here, come here. It's 2023, right? SUVs are absolutely everywhere. They actually got started about 20 years ago, I want to say. Let me show you where they got started. Right here, right here. This is a 2018 Volvo XC90. My name is Korr, and you're watching Korrmotive.
Stop right there. Don't listen to this clown. SUVs did not in fact start 20 years ago. SUVs started back in the 90s, technically, if you want to go by the modern definition of an SUV, with the Ford Explorer. I just wanted to make a funny little intro. I've had it in my mind for a long time, but it's not accurate, and I just wanted to point out the inaccuracy. But in fairness, the Volvo XC90 really...
So, ladies and gentlemen, the Volvo XC90. Let's talk a little bit about this car. It got started back in the early 2000s, and it was Volvo's take on the family SUV, which was just starting to hit some ground back in the early 2000s with the likes of the BMW X5 and the Mercedes-Benz ML class. This was Volvo's first ever SUV, and they did something rather interesting to make it a proper family vehicle. While the others were a bit more focused on maybe some off-roading, maybe some sportier driving characteristics, the XC90 was all about family, and it was one of the first SUVs, luxury SUVs, to feature a transverse engine layout, which allowed it to maximize interior room for passengers and cargo, which is why the XC90 is one of the most spacious SUVs in its class. We'll get back to that later. This, of course, is a second generation XC90 from model year 2018. It's a D5 Inscription, and it has just about everything you can possibly think of. And this was the first Volvo model back in 2015 when it debuted to use the automaker's new SPA architecture, which eventually the rest of the lineup started using as well. Before we press on, we need to talk about this. Obviously, this is not a factory item. This is something that the owner of this XC90 installed after the fact. It looks a lot like a certain other automaker logo that also appears in this specific area on the car. This is the Prancing Moose Volvo Shield, which a lot of Volvo enthusiasts put on their cars as an homage to the moose test. Back in the early 2000s, when the XC90 was going through, the people who were testing the car decided to see what would happen if the car plunged into a dummy moose. And the car did very well, and thus the Prancing Moose fender shield was born. This is according to all the sources that I could find on the internet, but thanks to that moose test, Volvo owners put these little decals on the sides of their cars as a little homage, and this one is no exception. By the way, the exterior of this XC90 is finished in pine gray metallic. Let's talk a little bit about the XC90's design. The second generation XC90 was revolutionary and evolutionary at the same time. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it was definitely a Volvo with the way it looked, and its size, and the fact that it was the second generation XC90, of course. But it also introduced Volvo's new design language, like the much cleaner side profiles, the Thor hammer headlights over there, the Thor hammer daytime running lights, and this new LED taillight design back here. And overall, it's a fantastic looking car. Like the XC90, this generation XC90, one of the best looking SUVs on the market right now, easily. And also, side note, I've never seen these wheels on an XC90 before, and they've already become my favorite, and thank the Lord they're not diamond cut wheels. Overall, the XC90 is a very attractive family SUV. So if you use this car for the school run like the owner of this one does, then the other kids in your kids' class are gonna love it. Since I'm already back here, we should talk about one of the XC90's strongest characteristics, the cargo area. Thanks to that transverse engine layout, Volvo was able to maximize the most of the space inside this cargo area. Now, the XC90 is a 7-seater, but as you can see, the third row of seats is folded down, and the owner was very kind to remove the child seats, and we're using them to demonstrate the room in the back. So, with all 3 rows of seats in place, the Volvo XC90 has 397 liters of space. If you fold down the third row of seats, you get 775 liters. And if you fold down all the seats, you get a truly van-like 1951 liters. Obviously, as you can see, every model comes with a power liftgate. You can use your foot under the bumper to open and close it, but I don't trust those, to be honest with you, which is why I just opened it normally. There's also the car's air suspension system, which you can fiddle with through these buttons inside the cargo area. The car will raise or lower for you to get cargo easier in and out of the back. And also, if you press this button, it deploys the tow hook, as you can see. There's also little hooks to hang your shopping. The tow hook still hasn't gone away, by the way. And there's also a 12-volt socket to plug in various electronic items like a fridge or something like that. Then you press one of these two buttons. This one locks the car after closing the tailgate. This one just closes it, like that. Very practical, very spacious, very excellent. Let's talk about the space in the back seats. Being that this is a Volvo XC90, anyone who knows a Volvo XC90 will know exactly what I mean. There's a ton of room back here. So the driver's seat is in approximately my driving position. You know my statistics, 1.8 meters tall or 5'11" and a half, about the same size as the Discord admin. Tons of knee room, as you can see, and tons of headroom as well. I mean, the sunroof here, the full-length sunroof, does kind of steal a little bit of your headroom in the back, but it's really not a big deal. As you can see, the rear seats have these covers on them. No surprise. They're just regular leather seats underneath, and they're individual. It's not a bench seat. There's 3 individual seats. You can slide each one, as you can see, and you can also recline them like that if you need to take a nap or what have you. There's also a third climate control zone back here if you want to cool down or heat yourself up. And for some reason, each rear door has an ashtray, so your kids could smoke in the back? I don't know. There's no ashtray in the front, only in the rear doors. No idea. And of course, you have a rear sunshade, so you don't have to put on those suction cup pieces of crap and ruin your window. Overall, very spacious, very practical, and very nice too. Moving on to the front seats of the XC90, it's absolutely fantastic up in here. The interior quality and the materials are fantastic, and so is all the technology and features. But in order to do that, we must first start the XC90. So the first thing that greets you when you get in the XC90 is the steering wheel, fully leather wrapped, and it has perforated parts here right around the center. Volvo has been using the steering wheel for quite a while. There's the cruise controls on the left spoke, the audio controls on the right spoke, and the following distance here on the parts that are closer to the airbag cover in the middle, big Volvo badge in the middle, and of course also in the middle you have the horn, which sounds like this. Behind the steering wheel, we have a fully digital gauge cluster. You can change the theme. It shows you all of your safety features, the safety systems, whether or not they're working. It does a little check every time you start the car, which is really fun. You can change the theme, as I said, and it's very configurable. When you have Apple CarPlay connected to the car, it shows what music is playing at the moment or what have you. Very nice. All of the interior materials that you touch and feel at any moment are wonderful. Very high quality, very solid, well put together. What you'd expect from a Volvo, really. And it's all done in a fantastic Scandinavian way. I know that's a automotive journalist cliche thing to say, but it really is. In the middle, we have Volvo's now familiar infotainment system. It's a vertical touchscreen with a home button right in the middle. If you press the home button while you're on the home screen, you get how you use the system. You get little instructions. There's navigation, Bluetooth connectivity, the ability to take calls hands-free, and there's Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, of course. You can also listen to DAB digital radio. This car also has heated and cooled seats, and it has a Harman Kardon sound system, which sounds spectacular. There's a full-length panoramic sunroof. It has its own sunshade. Only the front part opens for safety reasons, but it's beautiful and it lets in a lot of light. while also being tinted to not get in the way. Below the infotainment system, which houses most of your controls, you have a bunch of hard buttons. There's the hazard lights, there's the volume control, play and pause button for the stereo, seeking tracks, front defroster, rear defroster, a little symmetrical area, like it doesn't do anything, just a hole, maybe it's a microphone, I don't know, and a little button at the very end that opens the glove box. In the center control stack, we have the shifter. It's a wonderful mechanical gear selector. You just press a button at the back, put it in drive like normal. It also has a manual mode like that. It's an 8-speed automatic transmission in this car. We have the cool little starter switch here. You don't press the button, you just twist it to the right and twist it to the right to start and stop the engine. There's also the little drive mode selector right here in the middle. I only just now realized that you have to press it in and then roll it to change the options. The parking brake and the auto hold facility. There's also a massive center console and big door pockets here. Memory buttons on the door. A beautiful, well put together and very safe feeling interior. It's fantastic. Well done, Volvo. Finally, let's talk about the engine. First thing I need to say about the engine before I give you any specs is the engine cover is foam. I think this is to improve safety, I'm not sure, but it's really fun. And it doesn't get hot, so I can just, you know, the car's warm, but I can do this. And also one more cool thing I need to show you. Give me a moment, please. I don't know if you can see it from your angle, but the Volvo logo in the grille points with an arrow, right? That arrow points, in this case, to the hood release, like that. Great design, Volvo. Anyway, the powertrain, yes, this is a 2-liter twin-turbo diesel. This is the D5 XC90. It has 235 horsepower and a ton of torque too. I forgot, I'll put the number on the screen. Very powerful engine, but also very economical. It's a small diesel, it can't really be that bad. The owner tells me that with 3 kids in the car and a crap ton of cargo in the cargo area, which I can confirm because I saw how much cargo there was, 8 liters per 100 kilometers of driving on the highway. Very, very impressive. Now it's time to find out what the engine and the rest of the car is like on the road. So, what's the XC90 like to drive? Well, for the purposes of this video, I'm only able to sample the car in city driving situations, but I can still tell you that it's really rather good. This car is a little too big for Macedonian streets. It might be due to the fact that I'm not used to it because it's twice the size of my car, but overall on the road, it feels safe. Even though it's big, it does feel safe. It's a Volvo, obviously. Of course it feels safe. So, one thing I didn't mention during the exterior and interior showcases is this car has the optional air suspension. And I was very curious to see how it behaves with such an item on Macedonian streets because every street in this city has a hole of some kind. And I can tell you that it's very comfortable and it handles that quite well. And also, the diesel engine under the hood is very refined. It's not, you know, silent. It's a diesel after all. It does make a little bit of noise, but it's very refined and it pulls like it's nobody's business. 235 horsepower, yes, but that much torque, so it goes. It has no problem. See, the traffic lights don't exist on this junk. Being an XC90 Inscription, this car also has just about every optional safety system that you can think of. Forward collision warning with with automatic emergency braking, adaptive cruise control, semi-autonomous driving, pedestrian detection, rear cross traffic alert. The Harman Kardon sound system is brilliant. It sounds really good bass, really clear sound reproduction. And the driving position is very easy to adjust. You sit very high. I can now finally see what people mean when they say really tall driving position on a big SUV like this. It's nice. And overall, the XC90 is a very impressive car, even in city driving situations. And I'm told as well that the XC90 also impresses on the highway as well. One little tiny note that I have about the XC90's driving experience is the brakes. They lack a little bit of feel and they require a lot of pushing the brake pedal for them to actually engage in the first place, but it's not that bad. And that's what you have auto emergency braking for, because I've been told that when the car detects a pedestrian, it slams on the brakes just like that. Now we're finally on the move again. As I said, the brake pedal lacks a little bit of feel, but the automatic transmission is very nice. It's very smooth to change gear, and I have a thing for diesel engines and automatic transmissions. The sound that they make just gives it a little more of a personality. And also, there's a fair bit of body roll when you're going through corners, but you're not exactly going to take this car on the racetrack, so that's perfectly acceptable. The seats are also very comfortable. No surprise, Volvo seats have always been comfortable. And overall, driving experience on the XC90 is pretty excellent. Now I'm just waiting for a little bit of a leeway so I can floor it and show you the acceleration capabilities. We have a little leeway now. The car has no problem pulling hard. Takes a little second to drop a gear, but after that, you're gone. And then you can quite easily just go back to cruising speed. That's really about it. And all the selectable drive modes also, like when you put the car in dynamic mode, it holds the gears a little bit longer and takes a little longer to shift, as in at higher RPMs for a more sporty driving experience. And they also play around with the air suspension, so off-roading mode obviously raises the air suspension as high as it can go. Dynamic lowers it a little bit. It's overall a fantastic drive. There's not much to complain about the XC90. It's a safe, solid, sturdy, awesome to drive family wagon. Very comfortable and very effective. So that's going to be about it for this Volvo XC90 review, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to hit like and subscribe to the channel. Also follow me on social media. There will be links in the description, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.